What is going on, everybody? My name is Cookie6 and welcome along to this Coventry City related FIFA video. No, we're not starting the Coventry Comeback. I decided to make a video on Coventry City's players and going through the ratings of them on this year's FIFA. So it should only be a quick video and going through every single player and seeing what they're about. If at any point you're enjoying this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more FIFA 18 content. First player up we have is Lee Burge. Lee Burge, 24 years old, and he's currently rated at 59 on this game. I think maybe slightly unfair. He's had quite a good season so far this year. He was possibly looking at a 60, but he's been given a 59 quite harshly. He's also got two traits, and as you can see here, we're going to flick it over, and it is currently at goalkeeper up for corners and cautious with crosses. Now, I'm not really sure what this cautious with crosses trait is. It seems like something new. Whenever I've seen him from a corner, he doesn't look very good. I'm not going to lie. So it might be something quite bad. I'm not 100% sure. Next player we have is Corey Adai, or Corey Addy. I'm not hugely sure on how that's said. 54 overall for him. He's not the best. And now one thing I just want to go through, you can't actually see goalkeeper stats in the squad hub, so don't really know what he's good at, to be honest. Next player then we have is Liam O'Brien. Now obviously Liam O'Brien has had 2 howlers to start the season and subsequently has been dropped. But he's sort of okay. He's the best rated goalkeeper in this at the minute, 60 overall. This is probably an area for career mode that you want to try and improve because it's not looking great, I'm not going to lie. Moving on to the right backs then we have Jack Grimmer, 66 overall. So one of our highest rated players. He's 23 years of age. He's as you can see from the little pie chart sort of thing we've got in this corner where he's standing, he's got 78 pace, 61 physicality, 63 defending, 61 dribbling, and as you can see from the stats here, quite a few green stats in the physical department. Another thing that's pretty annoying, you can't see his strength. I don't know why, it's just not there. Technicals though, he's got 63 marking, 64 stand tackle, 62 slide tackle, and some decent ball control and other stuff as well. So quite a good player who could possibly go through the leagues with you as well. He can also play centre back and right wing back. Dion Kelly Evans is currently rated 60 overall, right back, right wing back. He's got a lot of pace. Let's have a look at this straight away. 84 acceleration, 83 sprint speed, and he can jump really high as well, and he's got some very good physical stats there. Aggression is currently at an 85, which is always good if you want your player to get the ball back and sort of challenge in, sort of going all guns blazing. Looking at the technical side then, ball control, it's only at 58. He hasn't got very good technical ability. His slide tackle, stand tackle, again, not hugely great, but can be improved as he is still a young player. So possibly see him go up to the early 70 rating. Another one to probably take through the leagues with you. Another player here we got is Jordan Turnbull. Oh my god, that kit is horrendous. Jordan Turnbull currently out on loan to, I believe, Motherwell, and I can't get over this kit. That is disgusting. He's 63 overall, so you can bring him back on loan if you want to, but I think you have to pay a fee now. He's 22 years old, so will grow possibly to the high 60s. I doubt if he gets to the 70s. Let's have a look at his physical stats then. We can't really see his strength, but I assume that's one of his strong points. He's got a little bit of jumping, a little bit of stamina as well. And some of his technicals, marking, stand tackle, slide tackle, even heading accuracy are in the 60s as well. Moving it on, we got Dara Lee, I'm not too sure. He's a youngster as well, centre back or left back, 54 overall, aged 19. So another one of the Coventry City youth products you could possibly take forward in the leagues and see how they get on. I assume this will be another player that probably gets to the high 60s, maybe even low 70s. Bringing it forward, he hasn't got a lot of acceleration or sprint speed, so that is obviously a concern for most people in the game. And then when you look at the technicality of it, again, not brilliant. So if you're probably going to go forward with him, it's going to have to be as a centre back because he just does not have the pace to be a left back. Next player we have is Dominic Hiam. He's 60 overall, 62 pace, 60 physical, 60 defending, and then the others we don't really need to see. Again, another player not with a lot of pace, can't really see the strength, again, annoying. Balance 49 as typical centre back if I'm honest, and then if we look at the technical side, he's absolutely shocking. Marking 59, stand tackle 61, slide tackle 59, heading accuracy 59, so at best a very bit part sort of player at centre back, although the one saving grace he does have is the age. He's 21 years old. Next player we have is Tom Davies, another 60 rated centre back, and as we can see from his little pie chart here, 67 pace, 71 physicals, 58 defending. So the defending is not the best for him, but he's probably one of these players that's more of an athlete than a proper defender. As you can see, acceleration and sprint speed 64 and 69, it's a bit better, and then you've got jumping 71, stamina 71, and I assume his strength is going to be quite good as well. Technicals, shocking once again. Rod McDonald then, one of the better players for Coventry City this year, has also also got a trait. We'll go on to that in a second. Pace is at 63, physical 72, defending 62. As we move on into the physical section here, we have his acceleration at 67 and his sprint speed at 60. So that's quite good, especially for League 2. I assume his strength will be in the 70s, maybe even the 80s. And his jumping now, I believe, is at 70. So that's quite good. Mental stats as well, quite good. His ball control, it seems to be okay for a centre-back. His marking, his stand tackle are alright as well. Slide tackle could do with some work, but he's looking alright as a solid centre-back for League 2. And then we go on to his traits, and he's got the long passer trait. Now, don't really know why this is attributed with him. I don't know if that means he just likes to hoof it, but I can't really see that working too well with his long passing. I mean, it's not that bad. It's at 60, but I can't see it working too well, to be honest. Next player we have is Jordan Willis, one of our highest rated players. Again, 66 overall, skill moves 2-star, weak foot 3-star. We've got pace at 77, physicals at 72, defending at 64, and even dribbling up there at 57. Jordan Willis can play centre-back or right-back. He's 22 years old, so can still improve. Acceleration and sprint speed are at 76 and 77, agility at 74 as well. Jumping at 82, and I assume his strength will be in the 70s as well. If we move it across, ball controls at 62, marking at 66, stand tackle at 64, slide tackle at 61, heading accuracy at 65. So quite a good, well-rounded centre-back to have, especially in League 2. So moving him forward in the leagues might be quite something you're looking forward to. Now, one of the players that I've noted as being quite a useful player, Ryan Haynes. He can play left back, left wing back, and left midfield. The 21-year-old, 78 pace, 61 physicals, 54 defending, 64 dribbling, 60 passing, 52 shooting. So, if I'm honest, he looks more like a left midfielder than a left back or a left wing back. Let's move it on to his physicals then. The acceleration 76 and the sprint speed 79 is it's quite good for a pacey winger. Stamina up there at 70 as well. If we move it on to the technicals, this is where he sort of comes into a bit of a time of his own. So he's got ball control there at 60. Which could do with improving. Marking at 51, again, not really the sort of the left back you're after. Stand tackle and slide tackle 57 and 56, sort of proving that point a bit more. Crossing net at 70, dribbling at 67. He's even got a free kick in him as well at 61 and a bit of curve too. And he's got a trait, technical dribbler. So even more so, proving that he's probably more worth being a left midfielder. Or if you want to play an attacking wing back, he is certainly the man to go for. Next left back we've got is Chris Campbell, another player from the youth academy. 18 years old, 52 overall. To move it onto the pie chart, he's got 65 pace, 51 physical, 51 defending, 52 dribbling. Possibly someone you could look forward to in the future. He hasn't got a lot of pace, but it could be worked on depending how he sort of progresses through. And then we look at the technical side. Ball control desperately needs work, but his dribbling's okay, and his passing sort of could do with some work as well. Next player we have is Chris Stokes. Now Chris Stokes for me is he's one of those players that I'm not hugely sure about, and as you can see here, left back or centre back, so obviously the saving grace is centre back. I'll get onto that in a second. Pace 48. Obviously, you don't want your left back being with pace 48. Physical 69, defending 64. So we move it on to the physicals. 44 acceleration and 52 sprint speed. You do not want your left back to be that slow. So possibly someone who could be as a centre back. I assume his strength will be in the 70s as well. He's got 70 jumping and 61 stamina. Let's have a look at his technicals. 52 ball control, 56 crossing, 53 dribbling. But most importantly, we got stand tackle, slide tackle, and marking all in the 60s, 64. 64, 65, and even heading accuracy at 65. So possibly a backup centre-back for Coventry City players around Coventry or the world. I don't know where you're playing this. Michael Doyle, 35 years old. Mickey Doyle, obviously, if his aggression's not 90, I will be shocked. He's 65 rated overall, 49 pace, 79 physical, 63 defending, and then he's got some good stats there as well. Yeah, there we go. Aggression is at 90. I did think so. Stamina at 81 as well, jumping at 73. He is slow. He's 48 acceleration with 50 sprint speed. He's not going to sort of do your N'Golo Kante, but he will try and knock a few people out. Moving on to the technical side, and he's got some good technical stats. So he's going to be a good, solid midfielder for you. And also, he's got a trait, team player. So he's you know what, just stick the captain's armband on him. He'll do a world of good. Jodi Jones then, one of Coventry's best players this season in real life. On the game, only rated 63. Bit of a shock. Can play right mid or left mid. He's got 3-star skill moves and apparently 2-star weak foot, which I think is a bit generous. Take a look at this. He's got 89 pace, 49 physicals, 22 defending, 65 dribbling, 57 shooting, and 55 passing. So obviously, as a winger, that is exactly what you want in the pace department. Acceleration, sprint speed, agility, and balance, all in dark greens there. 90 acceleration, 89 sprint speeds, looking very good. Stamina's okay as well. Moving on to the technicals, ball control will do some work, and the dribbling. So if you can get those going up a bit, you're going to be onto a seriously good player here that could go through up to the championship, sort of mid 70s to high 70s. If you saw my Coventry Comeback save last season, he was pretty special for me. Hasn't got any traits. I did think he might have got the technical dribbler. Apparently not. That might be something that needs to be earned. Next player we have is Peter Vincenti, a player that hasn't done very well for Coventry City in real life up to this point, but he's currently sitting at a 61 overall. He's a left mid or right mid, or vice versa, and he's got 60 pace, 74 physicals, and not really a lot else to talk about. Moving on to his physicals, 58 acceleration and 61 sprint speed. He's got 80 jumping and 73 stamina with 74 aggression. And then we've got ball control here at 60, dribbling at 61. He's got heading accuracy at 73. So it seems a bit weird. He seems like he should be a striker target man. Then again, on Football Manager, I'm pretty sure he was the reason they added in that wide target man sort of role, because that's the role he's been playing for Coventry City. I personally don't think he's been working very well, but he's still getting the game, and his trait is target forward. Moving on then, Ben Stevenson is one of our brightest prospects at the club at the minute. He's currently standing at a 64 overall rating with 4-star weak foot, 3-star skill moves, and 74 pace, 54 physical, 55 defending, 64 dribbling, 64 passing, and 60 shooting. Well rounded. Moving it on to the physicals, he's quite quick as well, especially off the mark. Then the technicals, he's got some very good stats here. Yellows across the board with a bit of orange as well, but they're very close to being yellow. For tackling, for shooting, for pretty much everything around here as well. So he's looking pretty good. Can play and hold in midfield as well if you want him to. He's probably better going forward though. Next player we have is Liam Kelly, centre mid or central defensive mid. 66 pace, 75 physical, 61 defending, 61 dribbling, 64 passing, 60 shooting. Another player here who has got the complete package, if I'm honest, especially for League 2. 65 overall as well, brilliant. He's not the fastest, but he has got a bit of pace about him. 84 stamina, 84 jumping is very good. One of these players that you just want to break up the midfield. And then look at these stats across the technical board. We just got yellows and oranges, which is absolutely fantastic. He's also got a trait, and it's early crosser, bit of a random one. Callum Maycock then, one of the youth players from the youth academy at Coventry City, that famed youth academy, bringing through players like James Madison, Callum Wilson, George Thomas, Keane Harries. Those players have gone on to bigger and better things. So he's here at 52 overall. He's played a couple of games this season, I believe, or one game in the... I can't remember what cup it was, but he played a game. I saw him play, and he looked pretty good. 65 pace, 61 physicals, and then not really much to talk about there. He's got 3-star weak foot, which is probably pretty good as well. Physicals then, they're not looking overly special, but he could be saved with the strength as well. We can't see it. And then the technicals aren't looking very good, but he could be someone you could sort of keep around for maybe a season or two to see how he progresses. He might turn into like a low 60s or a high 60s sort of player as a backup option. Next player we have is Devon Kelly-Evans, the 56 rated left mid or centre attacking mid. Another player with pace. We've got 83 acceleration and 84 sprint speed, 81 jumping, that's just come out of nowhere, and 82 aggression. So if he loses the ball, he's going after it, and you probably win it back as well because he's got good acceleration and sprint speed. Moving on into the technical side, and this is where he completely falls down. 46 ball control is just not good enough. That needs working on big time, and also the passing, long passing and short passing isn't great either, and the long shots for a winger and centre attacking mid is just not good. He's sort of a player that you could try and upgrade and see how he gets on for the season or two, but I see him probably getting to 60s, maybe high 60s at a push. Next player we have is Kyle Finn, 18 years old, 55 overall, 3-star skills, 3-star weak foot, 77 pace, 53 physicals, 57 dribbling. Moving it on, we've got quite a decent amount of pace here, 78 acceleration, 77 sprint speed. I only see that going upwards, so it's looking pretty good. Stamina needs some work though. It does need some work. That's 49. It's shocking. Move it on to the technical. Again, another player that needs some ball control. And once you get that sorted out, he could be quite a good backup player for you. Next player, Kyle Reid, currently out on loan to Colchester. You could bring him back for a fee, I believe, in this career mode. 65 overall, 3-star skills, 2-star weak foot, 84 pace, 69 physical, 67 dribbling, and some good like shooting and other things as well, passing as well. 83 acceleration, 85 sprint speed, so quite pacey there. 76 stamina as well, so it's looking pretty good, especially for League 2. So if you want to get him back, do it. And then we've got 63 ball control, 68 dribbling, 64 shot power. So he's looking alright, to be fair. Don't know why we sent him out on loan, but he's out on loan. So if you want to get him back, all you have to do, come into the squad hub, recall from loan, and he's back in your side. Next player we have is Tony Andrew, who's just gone and done his leg or knee or something. In real life, he's gone and hurt himself quite badly. Not good. He's going to be out for pretty much a long time. 3-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. He's 68 overall. I believe that is one of our best players, if not the best player. 65, another well-rounded player here. 65 pace, 65 physicals, 55 defending, 66 dribbling, 67 passing, 65 shooting. Good balance, good stamina. I mean, he's all right. He's got enough pace about him to do something, so that's all you need, really. Moving on to the technicals, very good technicals, and he should be quite a good player for you if you can get anything out of him. Next player we have is Feed Duck, and he'll score a Duckens Nazon. 60 overall, I think might be a little bit harsh. Coventry City's resident Haitian. He's a striker, left mid or right mid, and he's got 76 pace, 58 physicals, 60 shooting, 57 dribbling. Moving it over to his physicals, 71 acceleration, 80 sprint speed. So he's not overly quick to get going, but once he's going, he's pretty quick. I don't really know what his strength is at. I'm going to assume it's not very high, but we'll have to wait and see. Technicals then, shocking. His ball control is awful. That needs some dire work on it. And again, his passing, not very good either. 35 long passing, 44 short passing is shocking. And his curve is not good as well for a striker. But he does have sort of good finishing, 62 there, 62 dribbles and 64 shot power. Next player we have is Stuart Bevan, our best rated striker. He's 33 years old, 67 overall, 74 pace, 72 physicals. We've got 67 shooting and 68 dribbling. He's got 3 traits, the greedy bastard. Moving on is his physicals, and this is just beast. Look at this, 73 acceleration, 74 sprint speed, agility at 77, and then we've got balance at 87, jumping at 92, so he's going to win every header, and then he's got stamina at 90 as well, so he doesn't get tired. He's a marathon runner. Aggression 84, so he's always chasing always chasing the ball down when he's up front, so he's going to be a really useful player to have. And going into the technical, 69 ball control there, 68 shot power, 64 dribbling, 64 long shots, 68 finishing, I think that is. So he's looking pretty good. And then he's obviously got 3 traits: power header, backs into player, target forward. So if you want a target man, Stuart Bevan is definitely the right person for you, especially in League 2. A few players to go then. We got Maxime Biamou. I believe we signed him from Sutton United. He's 55 overall at 26 years old. Now, it's not great, is it? He hasn't really shown much for Coventry this season. I don't think he's really had a game, which is a bit of a shame, but pace at 73. He could be a backup option for you, or you might just want to get rid of him. It's entirely up to you. Sprint speed at 77, acceleration at 69. Really not a lot to talk about here. Long shots 42, finishing 59. It's quite poor, to be honest. Next player, Jordan Ponticelli, one of Coventry City's fans' favourite players at the minute. He hasn't really played a game. It's quite exciting. 55 overall. He's at 18 years old. Now, he's got a good trait here. I'll go through it in a second, but he's one of these players that Coventry City fans want to see break into the first team lineup. So let's go through his stats. He's got 78 acceleration, 76 sprint speed, so looking pretty good so far. Move it over to the technicals. It falls down big time. Now, one thing you want to do in career mode is probably go through the ball control and dribbling and sort of work that up, because with the sprint speed and acceleration you're going to be running at players quite a lot. Now, the finishing currently stands at 62, which is pretty good. Couple it in with his trait, the finesse shot. He will be quite lethal in the box, especially in League 2. And I see Jordan Ponticelli being able to get to a low 70s overall mark, so we'll see how he gets on. Could be quite interesting though for a few career modes going on. We'll see how he progresses though. Mark McNulty, 64 overall, 24 years old, 3-star weak foot, 76 pace, 61 physicals, 62 dribbling, 66 long shots. Again, another player looking pretty good. 79 acceleration, 74 sprint speed, 74 aggression, 72 jumping. Some good technicals as well. He's got 68 shot power there and 67 finishing. So if you want to get him up front, probably in a 4-4-2 with Stuart Bevan, could be quite useful. Last player we have is 63 overall rated, Kwame Thomas, age 21. He's got a trait, not a good one, but we'll go through it. Pace, we have 78 sprint speed, 68 acceleration, quite a weird one, with 90 jumping, surprisingly. Stamina's not great. Technicals, he's He's more one of these players that just gets his head on it. His finishing 61, heading accuracy 71 is quite good. So he could be quite promising if you can sort of swap him in and out for Stuart Bevan as sort of like the sub-target forward. The problem he does have though is he is injury prone, so a bit annoying, but we'll see how we get on. So how are you going to play this in your career modes, people watching this? What are you going to do? What sort of formation are you going to go for? So I think personally I might go for a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2, which looks pretty interesting. One thing I am interested about is, where is he? Ryan Haynes. Now, looks pretty interesting. I think with the technical dribbler trait, that could be quite fun going forward in the leagues. Like I say though, I'm not doing a Coventry comeback just yet. It might happen in the future, but I can't be too sure. Let me know what you think about this video. If you've enjoyed it, please drop a like. If you want to subscribe for more FIFA 18 content, feel free to do so. I know this has been a long one with me rambling, but hopefully Coventry City fans all over the place have got a bit more of an insight on what we're rated like in this game. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.